outcast human pilot buys a dead alien ship, but it speaks and has its own will. The market was loud and crowded, full of aliens of every shape and size. Jalen moved through the stalls carefully, keeping his eyes low.
He had learned long ago that humans were treated as weak, expendable, or just plain funny. In this part of the galaxy, aliens ran the trade routes, controlled the ports, and often ignored humans entirely. Jalen had no one to rely on but himself. He had come to this market for one reason. He needed a ship. Not a fancy ship, not a fast one, not one to impress anyone. Just a ship he could afford. His current vessel had broken down during his last trip to the asteroid belt, and without a ship, he was nothing. No money, no cargo, no purpose.
Cheap ships! Best deals in the sector! A booming voice shouted.
Jalen ignored the salesman and moved to a corner of the market where the older, abandoned vessels were stored. The smell of burnt circuits and metal dust filled the air. He stopped in front of a strange craft, covered in dust and cobweb-like wiring.
Its shape was unlike anything he had seen.
Smooth curves, almost organic, like it had grown instead of being built. It had no sharp edges, no visible weapons, but dull light pulsed from deep inside the hull, faint, like a heartbeat. A small plaque hung from the docking claw.
Unsanctioned.
Do not operate. Dangerous.
Jalen chuckled quietly. Dangerous?
That was exactly the kind of ship he could afford. He had saved credits for months to buy a vessel like this. He just hadn't known it would be so strange. The seller, a tall, four-armed alien with scales and golden eyes, noticed him staring.
You human, the alien said, voice dripping with amusement. That ship will kill you before you even board.
Junk. Go away.
I like junk, Jalen replied, trying to sound braver than he felt. How much? The alien's eyes narrowed.
It is unsalvageable. 10,000 credits. Take it or leave it.
Jalen's stomach sank. 10,000 credits was almost everything he had. But somehow, he knew he had to take the risk. Something about the ship called to him, deep in a place he couldn't explain. Psst! He made the deal. Tugging the ship away from the lot was harder than he thought. The engines barely responded. Dust fell from every joint as he struggled to push it toward the docking bay. Breath. Finally, with a long sigh, he climbed inside. The cabin was dark. Panels hung at odd angles. Wires sparkled faintly. The controls were completely alien, round, smooth, and glowing softly. Jalen pressed a few buttons hesitantly. Nothing happened. But then, slowly, a voice filled the cabin. It was not mechanical, not alien in the way he expected. It was soft, melodic, and almost alive. Who awakens me? Jalen froze. Desperate. His heart jumped into his throat. I bought this ship,
he stammered. My name is Jalen. There was silence. Then the voice spoke again, slower this time.
A human? Here?
Why, I needed a ship, Jalen said, trying to sound confident. I thought maybe I could fix you. The ship laughed. Or at least, it sounded like laughter. Best. Fix me. Child of fragile bone and soft skin, you do not understand. I am not broken. You humans are prepared. Jalen swallowed. His hand shook as he reached for the controls. I'll learn. I can learn. There was a pause. Then the voice said softly, almost curious, Perhaps. Perhaps. The ship's lights pulsed faster, and the panels shifted slightly, like it was testing him. Jalen realized that the ship was not just a machine. It had a mind. It had will. And it would not obey blindly. Jalen sat quietly, listening. The ship, he learned its name, was Aelith, asked him questions. About humans, about why he was alone, about what he hoped to do in the galaxy. At first, Jalen tried to avoid answers, but slowly he began to speak honestly. He told Aelith about being an outcast, about how humans were underestimated, ignored, or laughed at by other species. Aelith was silent for a long time. Then it said, I see. You are fragile, but you are determined. Perhaps this is why you awaken me. Not many beings would touch me without fear. Jalen smiled nervously.
Yeah.
I guess fear isn't really my thing. Aelith hummed.
Interesting.
I have been dormant for centuries. Many have tried to awaken me.
But none succeeded.
Yet here you are.
Jalen's excitement grew. He realized he might have stumbled upon something extraordinary. A ship that could think, speak, and perhaps even choose its own pilot. He also realized how much responsibility that carried. If he failed, if he disrespected the ship, it could reject him, or worse. I don't know how to operate all of this, Jalen admitted, gesturing to the glowing panels.
You will learn. I will teach if you respect me, Aelith replied.
The pulsing lights dimmed slightly, like a gentle nod. They spent hours together in the silent hangar bay. Jalen learned to interface with Aelith in small ways. A glowing panel would respond to his touch. Vibration would guide him when he pressed the wrong button. Slowly, he began to understand the rhythm of the ship, almost like a conversation without words. As night fell over the market, Jalen finally stepped out of the cockpit for a moment to stretch. Looking back, he realized that for the first time in his life, he wasn't entirely alone. He had Aelith, a ship with will, intelligence, and perhaps even friendship. The next morning, Jalen attempted to start the engines. The ship shuddered, lights flickered, and then a soft voice filled the cabin. Brave you, but know this, human. I will not follow commands that are reckless or cruel. You must earn my trust with each decision. Jalen laughed softly, a mix of nerves and excitement. Deal, he said. I can do that. He engaged the engine slowly. The ship vibrated beneath him, alive in ways he had never felt in any human vessel. Slowly, smoothly, Aelith lifted from the hangar bay.
It was awkward at first, the controls reacting strangely to Jalen's movements.
But the ship seemed to adjust to him, almost as if it was learning him as he learned it. Flying through the crowded market lanes, Jalen felt a thrill he had never experienced. Other pilots turned to look at him, their eyes wide in surprise. A human pilot in an alien vessel that seemed alive? Some laughed. Others whispered. Many shook their heads in disbelief. Jalen didn't care. For the first time, he felt like he belonged somewhere, even if it was only with Aelith. As he cleared the market, Aelith spoke again. We will need to test the boundaries. There is much you do not understand. I will guide, but you must prove yourself. I'm ready,
Jalen said, determination hardening in his chest. I want to learn. I want to see what you can do. Aelith hummed a sound that vibrated through the cockpit like music. Then let us begin. The ship rose higher, leaving the market behind, heading into uncharted space. Jalen felt a mixture of fear and excitement. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and mysteries, but for the first time, he was not just a weak human outcast. He had a partner, one who could challenge him, teach him, and perhaps even respect him. And in the quiet of the cockpit, a thought formed in Jalen's mind. Maybe humans were underestimated for a reason. But maybe, just maybe, it was time for the galaxy to start paying attention. The stars stretched out before them, endless and bright. And somewhere deep in the circuits and core of Aelith, a pulse of something like curiosity, maybe even hope, matched Jalen's own. This was just the beginning. The stars stretched endlessly before Jalen and Aelith. Space was quiet, but it was alive in ways Jalen had never imagined. The ship hummed beneath him, pulsing with a soft rhythmic sound that seemed almost like breathing. Every now and then, a panel would glow brighter, as if Aelith was thinking. Great. So, Jalen said, trying to break the silence, what do we do first? Aelith's voice echoed around the cockpit. First, you learn. Observation is key. You cannot command without understanding. Jalen frowned. Observation? Isn't there a throttle or something? Some buttons to push? Aelith laughed softly. A child's question. You will learn the controls, but you must also learn me. I am not a vehicle you push. I am a partner. Jalen leaned back, unsure. Partner, right. I guess I can do that.
He soon realized that flying Aelith was nothing like piloting his old human ship. The controls responded differently.
Sometimes, when he pushed forward, the ship drifted sideways. Other times, it accelerated faster than he expected. The ship seemed to anticipate his thoughts, almost nudging him in the right direction. It was frustrating, confusing, but thrilling. Breaths.
You are impatient, Aelith said, as if reading his mind. Patience is the skill of mastery.
You will learn in time, Jalen groaned. Patience. I guess I need more of that. They flew in silence for several hours. Jalen began to notice something strange. The ship sometimes pulsed differently when approaching certain regions. Strange energy readings flickered on the panels. At first he thought it was a glitch, but Aelith corrected him. Not a glitch. These areas are unusual. Dangerous, perhaps, but not fatal. Jalen's heart raced. Dangerous? Like what?
Aelith hummed. Space is not empty. Currents, anomalies, remnants of ancient civilizations.
Some are harmless. Some less so.
Humans often do not notice these things. You, however, may learn to see them.
Jalen swallowed hard. He realized that the ship was teaching him not just how to fly, but how to think in space, how to sense patterns, and how to react in ways he never had before. Hours passed. He started trusting the ship more, letting Aelith guide him through the star currents. And the more he trusted, the more the ship seemed to respond to him. Panels would light up gently when he made a correct decision. Warnings would appear softly when he was about to make a mistake. This is amazing, Jalen whispered, unable to hide his excitement. You're alive. Really alive.
Alive is a word you understand poorly.
I am sentient.
aware, capable of choice. Their first real test came unexpectedly. A strange signal appeared on the navigation panel, a faint, pulsing light, almost like a heartbeat. Jalen had never seen anything like it. "What is that?" he asked. Despair. "Unknown. Perhaps a distress call." "Perhaps a trap," Aelith replied. "You must decide. Approach or ignore." Jalen hesitated. Ignoring the signal would be safe. Approaching, it could be dangerous. But curiosity gnawed at him. He remembered all the times humans had been underestimated for exploring the unknown, for taking risks others would not. I want to check it out," he said finally. Aelith hummed. "Your choice. Proceed." As they approached the source, the signal grew stronger. It led them into an abandoned sector of space. Asteroids drifted lazily and the stars seemed dimmer here. Jalen's chest tightened, but something about this place felt old, heavy, almost forgotten. Suddenly, the ship's lights pulsed rapidly. "Anomaly detected," Aelith warned. "Prepare for turbulence." Before Jalen could react, a wave of energy rippled through space. The ship rocked violently. Panels flickered. He gripped the controls, heart pounding. "Steady, steady," he muttered, following Aelith's subtle guidance. "Berate." Slowly, the ship stabilized. Jalen realized that Aelith had predicted the anomaly before it hit and had adjusted the engines instinctively. You did that?" Jalen asked, astonished. "I guided. You followed." "You learn quickly when you pay attention," Aelith replied. Jalen laughed nervously. "I guess I do. Sort of." The anomaly passed, leaving them in silence again. Then Aelith spoke softly, almost as if proud. "You did not panic completely. This is progress." Jalen felt a surge of pride. For the first time, he wasn't just a human trying to survive. He was learning. He was growing. He was proving himself. As they continued through the abandoned sector, they discovered remnants of an ancient alien civilization. Massive structures floated silently, covered in cosmic dust. Jalen stared in awe. This is incredible." Aelith hummed in agreement. "These were once part of my creator's fleet, long thought extinct. You are seeing history firsthand." Jalen's mind raced. "So, you're not just a ship." Breath.
"You're part of something bigger. Yes."
And you, human, may be the first in centuries to awaken me fully, perhaps even the first capable of understanding me."
Jalen felt a mix of fear and excitement. The galaxy had always underestimated humans. Now here he was, a human navigating the unknown with a ship that could think and speak. For the first time he felt powerful, not in strength but in knowledge, creativity, and courage. Breath. Suddenly a strange light flashed ahead. A massive asteroid loomed, its surface glowing faintly with energy. But Jalen instinctively reached for the controls, but Aelith's voice stopped him. "Do not act rashly. Observe." Jalen froze. The ship seemed to guide him with subtle movements, nudging the controls without taking over completely. He realized that the ship trusted him to make the final decision, but only if he had learned to see clearly. Taking a deep breath, he adjusted the trajectory carefully. The asteroid passed, the energy field shimmering harmlessly around them. Jalen exhaled, heart racing. You trusted me? He asked. Yes. You are learning. Humans are often reckless, but you possess potential. Do not waste it, Aelith said. Jalen smiled, a wide, genuine grin. I won't, I promise. Jalen and Aelith flew together, each learning the other's rhythms, strengths, and limits. The bond between human and ship grew stronger, but he realized that he was not just piloting Aelith. He was working with it as an equal. Eventually, the stars opened up into a wide, clear path. Jalen let out a deep sigh, leaning back in his seat. Brave. This is what I've been missing. Discovery. Aelith hummed softly. And respect. You are beginning to understand that humans are not just fragile beings. You possess qualities many species overlook. Curiosity, courage, creativity. Jalen chuckled. I guess being underestimated has its advantages. Indeed, Aelith replied. It allows you to surprise others, including me. As night fell over the empty sector, Jalen stared out at the stars. He thought of his life before, when humans were dismissed, ignored, or laughed at. He thought of how far he had come in just a few days. Breath. He thought of Aelith, the ship that chose to speak, to guide, and to respect him. A small smile tugged at his lips. We make a good team, don't we? Aelith's lights pulsed gently. A partnership. You learn, I guide. Together, we may achieve what no human has before. Jalen felt a thrill run through him. The galaxy was vast, full of mysteries, dangers, and wonders. But he was no longer a weak outcast. He was a human capable of thinking, learning, and surviving. He was a human with a partner who believed in him. And for the first time, he truly believed in himself. The stars stretched endlessly before them, bright and full of possibility. Jalen tightened his grip on the controls, excitement building. The journey had just begun, and the galaxy had no idea what a determined human pilot and a sentient alien ship could accomplish together. After days of navigating uncharted space, Jalen and Aelith had become a finely tuned team. The bond between human and ship was stronger than either had expected. Jalen had learned to anticipate Aelith's subtle movements, and Aelith had begun to trust Jalen's instincts. Together, they explored ancient ruins, avoided hidden anomalies, and charted new sectors of the galaxy, but not everyone welcomed their presence. Word of the human pilot commanding a sentient alien ship traveled faster than Jalen expected. Alien traders and patrols began to take notice. Some were curious, some were suspicious, and some, especially those who underestimated humans, scoffed openly. It began subtly. On a routine jump between two systems, a sleek alien patrol ship hailed them. Braish. Human. A cold insectoid voice said. You pilot a forbidden vessel, Bray. State your purpose. Jalen swallowed but answered steadily. Exploration. No harm, just mapping uncharted sectors. There was silence. Then the voice sneered. Exploration? A human piloting a ship like that? Impossible. You will be escorted to the council for inspection.
Jalen glanced at Aelith. What do you think?
Aelith's lights pulsed.
Do. You must decide quickly. Humans are underestimated.
We can use that. Strategy, not force. Strategy, Jalen thought.
That was something humans did well. He nodded.
First, I can do that. As the alien ship moved closer, Jalen activated a series of subtle maneuvers. Not evasive, not aggressive, just clever shifts in trajectory that made the patrol underestimate him.
Aelith adjusted silently, nudging the ship with precise control. Within moments, the patrol was slightly off balance, unsure how to respond.
You see?
Aelith's voice was soft but approving.
Your species has ingenuity. You use the unexpected to survive.
Jalen smiled, a spark of pride igniting within him. We're not so fragile after all, huh? The patrol hesitated, then withdrew, muttering confusion into their comm system. Jalen let out a relieved breath. For the first time, he realized that being underestimated could be a strength. Days later, the duo encountered a derelict space station, drifting silently near the edge of a nebula. Ancient and massive, it appeared abandoned, but energy readings suggested otherwise. This station, Aelith said, was part of my creator's network. Something is unusual here.
Jalen felt a thrill run through him.
Let's check it out. Carefully, though. Docking with the station was tricky. Panels flickered. Gravity shifted unexpectedly, and the corridors were long and winding. Jalen moved cautiously, trusting Aelith's guidance. Every time he reached a dead end or a malfunctioning control panel, Aelith suggested alternative paths, guiding him through the station's mysteries. Inside, they found records of the ancient civilization, star maps, holographic histories, and blueprints of other sentient ships like Aelith. Jalen realized that Aelith was part of something extraordinary. A human was the first to interact with this technology in centuries. This is incredible, he whispered. Breaths. You were part of something massive, weren't you? Yes. And you are the first human capable of awakening me fully. Few even of my kind have achieved this, Aelith said. Jalen felt a surge of pride. Humans might be underestimated, but he realized that their strengths, curiosity, flexibility, intuition, could allow them to achieve things no other species could. Their exploration, however, did not go unnoticed. A small fleet of alien traders appeared in the station's vicinity. Unlike the patrols, these traders were not hostile, but suspicious. Their leader, a tall, amphibious alien with sharp eyes, hailed them.
Human pilot, the leader said.
You are tampering with forbidden relics. Explain yourself. Jalen's heart raced. He could have panicked, he could have lied, but he remembered Aelith's teachings. Honesty, cleverness, and confidence often worked better than fear.
I am exploring, Jalen said, steady and calm. I mean no harm.
I am learning just like any pilot would. The alien leader looked unconvinced.
A human?
You think you are capable? Jalen smiled, remembering how the patrol had underestimated him. I already am, he said simply. The leader raised an eyebrow. We shall see. The traders attempted to block the exit, hoping to force Jalen to abandon the station. But Jalen did not panic. He and Aelith worked together seamlessly. Using subtle maneuvers, they navigated the station's tunnels and activated ancient docking protocols that Aelith recognized instinctively. The traders were caught off guard by the ship's unexpected abilities and Jalen's precise control.
You are clever, Aelith said, pulsing with approval. You adapt quickly. You think creatively. This is why humans survive.
Jalen grinned. Thanks. I guess being underestimated has its advantages. After a tense few hours, the traders retreated, confused and impressed. Jalen realized that respect was beginning to replace skepticism. Right. Humans could not be dismissed so easily anymore. As they left the station, Iolith revealed more of its history. My creators built many like me. We were fleet command ships, sentinels of knowledge and power. Most were lost.
You, human, may be the first to harness this technology fully.
Jalen felt a mix of awe and responsibility.
That's incredible.
I never thought humans could reach this level. Humans are underestimated.
You survive because of it. You adapt. You imagine. You learn. Breaths. And you are proving it now. The rest of the day passed in quiet reflection. Jalen studied Aelith, learning subtle controls, hidden systems, and even some of the ship's personality. He realized that the ship was not just a tool. It was alive in ways humans often dismissed as impossible. Then, unexpectedly, a message came through on the universal comms. It was from the Galactic Council, a governing body of multiple alien species. Human pilot, the message began. You are summoned to explain your possession of a sentient vessel.
Report to our sector immediately. Non-compliance will be met with consequences.
Jalen looked at Aelith. The council. Now what? Aelith hummed. This is a test. You must demonstrate your capability. But remember, humans are underestimated. Use this. Jalen nodded. We can do this. For the next several days, they navigated toward the council's sector, carefully plotting a course that minimized risks and maximized their advantage. Jalen realized that his species' creativity, thinking outside the rigid rules of alien protocols, gave them an edge.
When they arrived, a fleet of council ships awaited.
The lead ship hailed them immediately. Human, the commanding voice said, you pilot a vessel of sentient origin. Explain yourself. Jalen took a deep breath. I am a human pilot exploring uncharted space.
I purchased this ship legally. I mean no harm.
I wish to learn and to prove that humans are capable of more than you expect. The council was silent. Jalen held his ground, and Aelith pulsed softly beside him, its lights signaling calm and cooperation. Then the council attempted a challenge, a simple test designed to see if Jalen could operate the ship properly. It involved navigating a complex asteroid field while maintaining communication protocols. Many aliens failed this task, but humans were known for their adaptability. Jalen studied the field, thought creatively, and adjusted the ship's trajectory in ways the aliens did not anticipate. Aeolus cooperated, anticipating dangers and adjusting faster than the council expected. Minutes later, they emerged on the other side unscathed and precise. The council murmured among themselves. They were shocked. A human pilot had succeeded where many seasoned alien pilots had failed. You are capable, the commanding voice said slowly. Perhaps more than we realized. Jalen allowed himself a small smile. Thank you.
I've always believed humans are underestimated, but not incapable.
Aelith hummed in agreement. Your species possesses qualities others overlook.
Creativity, courage, persistence. You are beginning to show your true potential. For the first time, Jalen felt a deep sense of pride, not just for himself, but for humanity. He realized that being underestimated was not a weakness. It was a secret advantage. Humans could surprise, adapt, and overcome in ways others never imagined. The council, impressed and cautious, allowed Jalen to continue his exploration. Their respect was reluctant but real.
Jalen had proven that humans were clever, resourceful, and worthy of recognition. As he and Aelith left the council sector, Jalen leaned back in his seat. "We did it, Aelith. We showed them humans aren't weak." Aelith pulsed softly. "Breathe." "Indeed, but this is only the beginning. Greater challenges lie ahead, and humans, especially you, have much to learn." Jalen laughed. "I'm ready. Bring it on. The galaxy has no idea what we can do together." The stars stretched endlessly before them once more. The duo moved forward, not just as a human in a ship, but as pioneers proving that humans could shine even in a galaxy that doubted them. And for the first time, Jalen felt that humans were not just surviving, they were beginning to thrive. The council sector slowly faded behind them as Jalen and Aelith left, their partnership stronger than ever. Jalen could feel the difference now. He was no longer the outcast human pilot everyone ignored or laughed at. He had a ship that trusted him. And more importantly, a ship he respected and understood. Together they were capable of feats neither could achieve alone. Yet Jalen knew the galaxy was far from done testing him. The council might have shown respect, but other species still underestimated humans. He had to prove that human ingenuity and courage were real, and not just luck. As they moved through a quiet sector, Aelith spoke, its melodic voice thoughtful. "There is a challenge ahead. A sector under dispute by multiple alien factions. They do not recognize humans as capable pilots. Their judgment may be harsh." Jalen grinned. "Oh, sounds like exactly the kind of place we should go." Aelith hummed softly, almost like laughter. "I anticipated your response. It will be an opportunity to demonstrate human capability, strategy, foresight, and careful planning will be required." The disputed sector was a maze of asteroid fields, gravitational anomalies, and old space stations, an environment designed to test the patience and skill of even the most experienced pilots. When they entered, sensors immediately detected multiple fleets observing their approach. Alien vessels of all shapes and sizes formed a blockade, their weapons pointed toward Jalen's ship. "Human pilot!" a commanding voice boomed from the nearest alien battleship. "You are trespassing in restricted space. Surrender your vessel for inspection, or face consequences." Jalen's heart pounded. He could have panicked. He could have tried to flee, but he remembered everything Aelith had taught him. Humans were underestimated. That gave them an advantage others could not imagine. Aelith said softly. "Observe. Plan. Desperate. Act deliberately." Jalen took a deep breath. He studied the formation, the gaps in the blockade, and the movements of each vessel. Most aliens expected humans to act impulsively, recklessly. That expectation worked in his favor. "Okay," Jalen muttered. "We'll use what they don't expect."
Aelith guided him subtly, nudging the ship toward the largest opening.
They anticipate fear. Use creativity, not speed.
Using a combination of clever maneuvers and the ship's advanced systems, Jalen navigated through the blockade.
Aelith adjusted energy fields, subtly shifting the ship's signature to appear smaller and less threatening. Aliens fired warning beams, but Jalen predicted their trajectories, weaving through them with precision. Minutes passed, tense and silent, until they reached the center of the sector. The fleets were left behind, confused and frustrated. For the first time, Jalen felt a deep sense of triumph, not just for himself, but for humanity. Humans had proven their ingenuity could rival the most advanced alien species. "You see?"
Aelith said, pulsing gently. Your species surprises.
Not with brute force, but with cleverness and adaptability. You have learned well. Jalen laughed, heart racing. We make a good team, don't we?
Yes,
Aelith replied. And now we demonstrate fully there is a relic at the center of this sector. Dormant alien station, capable of generating energy signatures that are unmatched in this region. Many species have tried to control it. Operation.
All failed. Jalen's eyes widened.
And you think we can do it? I do not think, Aelith said firmly. I know.
But it will require trust, communication, and cleverness. Qualities you humans have in abundance.
The dormant station loomed ahead, massive and ancient. Its surface glimmered with faint energy, pulsing like a heartbeat. Jalen could feel its power even from this distance. Many would have turned away, afraid of failure. But he didn't. He had Aelith, and together they could achieve anything.
Approaching carefully, Jalen and Aelith analyzed the station's systems.
Panels flickered to life as Aelith interfaced with the relic, sending signals, reading responses, and predicting movements. Jalen watched, learning the rhythm of the station, the way it responded to commands, the subtle feedback in the energy fields.
You must act precisely, Aelith said. One misstep could shut down the system, or worse, trap us.
Jalen nodded, hands steady.
I trust you. Let's do this.
Step by step, they synchronized the ship with the station's systems. Jalen followed Aelith's guidance, pressing panels and sending commands in a sequence no alien had ever tried before.
The station responded. Its energy stabilizing. Lights pulsed, pathways opened, and ancient systems whirred to life.
Breath. Finally, the core chamber revealed itself. Inside, a massive energy grid glowed, feeding power into the sector. Jalen's breath caught. He realized the full magnitude of what they were doing.
Humans. He, a single outcast, were operating technology no alien had mastered in centuries. You are doing well, Aelith said softly.
You are human, yet you think with clarity, courage, and creativity. This is your strength. Jalen smiled, pride swelling. We're proving them wrong. All of them. The final step required trust beyond calculation. Jalen had to manually engage a sequence that would activate the station fully, relying on Aelith to stabilize the energy fields. The moment his fingers pressed the last panel, energy surged through the station. Lights blazed, and the sector trembled with the release of controlled power.
Outside, the observing fleets were stunned. Aliens whispered among themselves.
Humans, weak, reckless humans, had achieved what they could not. Respect replaced skepticism in their eyes. Jalen exhaled, shaking with exhilaration. We did it, he said softly. Yes, Aelith replied, pulsing brighter than ever. You did it, but not because of strength, but because of what your species has always possessed: ingenuity, courage, and persistence. Humanity triumphs. For the first time, Jalen felt the weight of his journey. From a small, outcast pilot to a human who had earned respect across the galaxy, not through violence, but through cleverness, partnership, and determination. Brett. Humans had been underestimated for centuries, but he had shown what they could achieve when given the chance. As they left the station, the sector now calm and stable, Jalen looked at the stars, endless, bright, full of possibilities. And for the first time, he realized something profound. Humans were not only survivors, they were pioneers, explorers, and partners capable of commanding technology beyond anyone's expectations.
"We're ready for anything now," Jalen said, determination in his voice. "Yes," Aelith agreed. "The galaxy will notice humans now. They will respect your species. And together, we will continue to explore, to learn, and to prove that humanity's potential is limitless." Jalen leaned back in the cockpit, a smile spreading across his face. For so long he had felt small, insignificant, overlooked. But now he felt powerful, not because of weapons or might, but because of intellect, courage, and connection. A terror who was trusted him, and he had finally proven that humans could shine even in a galaxy that doubted them. As they set course for the next uncharted sector, the stars stretched endlessly before them. Each pulse of Aelith's lights felt like a heartbeat of possibility, and somewhere deep in the circuits of the ship, a sense of wonder mirrored Jalen's own. Bayes. Together, human and sentient ship, they would explore the unknown, face challenges, and continue to prove what humans could achieve. The galaxy had finally begun to see the truth. Humans were underestimated, but they were unstoppable when they believed in themselves. And so, the journey continued, not as an outcast human with a strange ship, but as a pioneer of the stars, forging a path where courage, creativity, and partnership reigned supreme. The adventure was far from over. But for Jalen, for Aelith, and for humanity, the future shone brighter than any star.